Lenny, we're a bit over halfway through the season. Hasn't been a great run results-wise, but have you seen plenty of encouraging signs so far?
Yeah, absolutely, Luke. I think you're spot on. Results-wise, it hasn't been great for us, but what we have done is played a lot of younger guys, and I think a lot of them have, really acquitted themselves really well. Guys like Luke Dunstan, Jack Billings, even Seb Ross, Webster, Nunes, Wright early in the year. So the list could go on. I think that's one of the positives for this year is that we've got games into these younger guys, and it's going to hold them in really good stead in the future.
Luke Dunstan's one that you've been linked closely to. I think you're sort of working very closely with him off the field. He's a hard-at-it, mature-bodied sort of player. I imagine he's the sort of guy that you take a lot of pride in seeing his development.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, he's really self-driven, and I can't take absolutely any credit whatsoever because he's always sourced me out. He wants to learn, he wants to improve. And at times, it can be quite rare in a guy who's only 18. Sometimes it takes a couple of years, but he wants to get better every day, and he's been a real pleasure to work with. And along with a few of the other guys, it's great to have them in the side. And we want to win some more games because at the moment, it reminds me of sort of when Rui and I first started. There's a bit of hardship, but it's going to turn, and those guys are going to be playing some really good footy for a long time for the club.
So you've obviously been in the game for quite a few seasons now, and the club is a long way off the top of the ladder, but you still find a lot of enjoyment in your footy?
Yeah, I still love playing the game. I still love being around the boys, being at the club. I enjoy training, even though it takes me a little bit longer to get warmed up these days. But I love everything about it. I guess as you get closer towards the end, you think about your career, and I've been incredibly lucky to play 16 years or to play football professionally and make it my job. I've been so fortunate, so that's certainly something that I'm really aware of, and I really respect the game and obviously the footy club for giving me the opportunity when I was a young fella.
Once you get over 30, there's always the questions about how much longer you're going to go on. Have you given much thought to how much longer you go on, or are you just taking it a week at a time?
No, I've certainly given it thought. Look, I was pretty close last year to not going on, but I'm glad I did play. I felt like I had a bit more to give, and working with these young guys, it's been really rewarding, even though we haven't got the results that we would have liked. So, look, a lot of it is week by week because I know that one injury and I could be done, but I knew that if I gave myself, if I had a good off season, even in the time that I wasn't at the club, I had worked hard and got myself pretty fit, and I knew that I'd be able to string some games together. So look, I'm still really enjoying it. I love playing for the footy club and hopefully get a few more wins before my career's over.
And the new coach as well. It seems like everyone's talked up the positivity that Richo's brought to the group. How have you found him?
I think he's been sensational. You can't ask for too much more in a coach. He's really honest with you. You know where you stand. Sometimes you might not like what you hear, but at least you know, and you know where you need to improve. I think the apprenticeship that he's done over a number of years has held him in really good stead. He's really calm, but he'll whack you between the eyes if he thinks you need it. So I've really enjoyed working with him. I think he's going to be a senior coach for a long period of time, and hopefully, look, who knows, but hopefully he's our next premiership coach.
Richo's obviously the biggest face that's come to the club of all the new inclusions, but there's just in the last year, new president, new CEO, 3 top 20 draft picks. Does it feel like there's a whole fresh energy around the place? Yeah, definitely.
If you look at the turnover even over the last couple of years, it's a totally different list, and a lot of the staff have changed as well. And I guess at times it can be disappointing. You see your mates move on, but unfortunately that's just the business we're in. Whether you're a player or a coach, the one sort of constant in footy clubs is change, and I guess it's just about impacting positively while you're here. And I feel like it's even though we haven't been winning, there's still been a lot of positives, and we know that we're going to keep working hard, and it will turn for us. And I think the fans, if there's any message to them, is just stick with us. We know we need to improve, and we're working really hard to do that. And all these, when it's a little bit harder at times, I think the good times become even more enjoyable when you do experience those. So it'll turn, and like I said before, it reminds me a lot of the time of when I was a young guy coming through, and within a couple of years we're playing off in the prelim, so it can happen quickly.